The magnitude 7.7 earthquake was the strongest to hit the Asian country in over a century. Both historic buildings, makeshift homes in favelas, and modern buildings have collapsed. Most of the missing are presumed dead. There is little chance that they are alive, as more than 72 hours have passed. When I visited the damaged areas, I saw that the buildings were built cheaply, without considering the risk of tremors. Those guilty of negligence will be held accountable. The epicenter of the quake was near Mandalay, the country's second largest city. Most buildings were damaged to varying degrees. Fearing aftershocks, the injured are lying on beds in an open area in front of a hospital. Mandalay is still experiencing power outages and a sewage system failure. Residents are also facing acute shortages of food, drinking water, and medicine. The victims were mostly civilians, but there were also government officials, volunteers, and also Buddhists who were meditating at the time, as well as school and temple workers. Many suffered broken limbs, spines, and serious head injuries. My ribs and back hurt, and my sister has broken arms. My niece did not survive. She was the only child in our family. Daytime temperatures in Mandalay can exceed 40 degrees Celsius. The smothering heat and lack of heavy rescue equipment and professional rescue teams are delaying search and rescue operations.
Teams of search and rescue experts are working to find people trapped in the rubble. And the critical window for search, as I said, is really narrow now, because we are now 72 hours after the earthquake.
The most immediate and important need is water. It is super, super hot out there, and communities don't have access to running water, and they don't have access to drinking water. So we have to get water out to communities. And as Nadia said, it's not just one time. We need to be providing water that will last those households a couple of days.
The most urgent requirements is to deploy shelter and relief items to the affected areas. It is also essential to monitor risks around explosive ordnance.
Rescuers, both foreign and domestic, are racing against time to save as many lives as possible. But the chances of getting survivors out from under the rubble are diminishing by the hour. The race against time is also on in Bangkok, 1,000 kilometers away, where a skyscraper under construction has collapsed. Dozens of people still remain under the rubble. At the moment, there are no signs of life. We are only retrieving bodies. But we are not losing hope. The rescue operation is still going on. And even though we are already on the 4th day, maybe they can survive for a week or 2 weeks. So we have to keep going. Around a dozen remain under the rubble.